Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to the weekly general overview with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you and I'm truly, truly grateful for all of your support. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me or an FLP, Future Life Progression, or PLR, Past Life Regression session with me, you can do so on the website address below. You are not getting the Monday Magic Tarot tidbit if you are not on my mailing list. That is just a little Monday motivation from me to you, just to say, you know what, I got you, I don't forget about you. So if you want to get that, you can join my mailing list on the link in the description box below. So I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So let's see what the week ahead has in store for all of us. What is the weekly general overview this week? And this week, the destiny card for the week ahead is the moon card, right? So I think we might have got this. No, actually we didn't get this last week. So the moon card, right? The moon is cyclic, right? The moon is a cyclic being just like human beings are. And the fact that we've got the moon card as the destiny card, it talks about the past. It talks about looking backward or glancing over things. Now, I don't personally feel like it's us looking back at the past, because I know all of us, after the summer that we've had, right? I know all of us are ready to be moving forward. I know we're all ready for something else and something different. So why did I mention cycles? I mentioned cycles because, like I said, we're cyclic beings. Sometimes the moon tells us that we have come full cycle, that we have gone through all of the challenges, all of the knowledge gathering, all of those moments of challenge, possibly even difficulty that we needed to go through in order to transcend the experience that we're having, right? So the moon card for all of us on the microcosmic level is telling you you've already come full cycle, right? It's done, it's over with. We already know where we've been. We're now ready to look outward and say, right, okay, you know what? Let's head towards something new. Let's go with all of the knowledge of the past, with all of the understanding. This is about assimilation, right? Taking that on board and saying, right, okay, I get it. Thank you for that. Thank you for the learning. Thank you for the study. Thank you for helping me to get to know myself on a better level. And now I move into my new self, my new aspect of self, my new understanding of self and life, but I do it with all of the previous knowledge. Each and every year you should be a better you than you were before. Why? Because you take the lessons, you assimilate them so that you transcend the experience. This is a week where you could really see, it's almost like you'll be looking back at your life and saying, wow, you know what, I have actually learned a lot, right? I've taken on a lot, I've changed a lot. I am different to who I used to be. I am focused. I'm not even just talking about myself here, right? Well, all jokes aside, this sees us really tapping into that, and it's no surprise then that we're going into Virgo season. What is Virgo? Virgo is the digestive system, which is all about taking what you have, pulling all of the nutrients and the best out of it and leaving the crap and the dross behind, right? So this is about assimilation. This is a really powerful week for us as we step into Virgo season and leave Leo season behind. Now, on the wider world stage, there could be, and there already is, as we've seen, right? There could be some moments that kind of look very, very similar. I don't know why, but I keep feeling like we're going to hear about a shocking affair this week. I don't know why, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, clutch my pearls. Like, this is just like da-da-da-da-da-da, right? There's going to be a situation that arises on the wider world stage. And interestingly enough, shameless advert here. I have just done the monthly overview for September, which you will only get if you are a member of the channel. But doing that, the stuff that came up for relationships for the month of September is very, very interesting. So this feeling of we might see something play out on the wider world stage when it comes to relationships, when it comes to, you know, how people or possibly even nations relate to each other. It's going to have this echo of, you know what, we've seen it all before, you know, same crap, different year, right? You might have an echo of that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the case, right? You know, like I said, we're all ready to move forward. I feel like the higher ups and the wider world stage is going to have to catch up to us on the personal level this week, which is really nice. It's, you know, and yes, it can work that way. You know, sometimes the biggest change happens within one person and it filters outward from there. You know, like they say, a smile can travel the globe. I smile at one person who's getting on a plane to go to a different continent, whatever. They get off and give that smile to all the people that they come into contact with. You never know, right? Sometimes the smile that comes back at you or that is given to you from another person could be the one that you started the ripple of. Right, that whole thing about the butterfly effect. So I really believe that it's going to be the other way around. You know, they say as above, so below. Well, this week I feel like it's going to be as within, so without. So if you see your surroundings or the experience you're having in your immediate vicinity and you don't like it, it's up to you to change that vibration this week. It's you that is different. It's you that's come full cycle. The direction, how does this shape up? What does it pertain to? The Eight of Swords, right? What are you ready to let go of? And the thing about the Eight of Swords, yes, it's constriction and confinement, but it asks you what you can be in the long haul for. What can you be in it for the long run, right? And as a direction card, this is basically saying you have what you need to detach yourself from the experience that you're having around you that no longer resonates with the new you, that this person that's come full cycle. With the Eight of Swords, you're ready to let something go and say, you know what, if that is too clingy, if it's holding me back, if it makes me feel trapped, if it makes me feel bound, you know, it could be a relationship, but it could also be a job. It could be, you know, I don't know, a business. It could be anything, right? I can't read for everybody. This is a general overview, but there is going to be that element this week where you're saying, you know what, yeah, I'm ready to let go of this situation because I'm ready for something better. And ultimately, I'm ready for something more. Which is beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. And then finally, the insight card. What's going on behind the scenes that we might need to know? How does this all tie together? And this week we get the Tower card, right? Well, Uranus is retrograde. So not only could we be seeing, I mean, more so than even the Judgment card, the Tower and the Moon card, that is a blast from the past, right? But don't forget you've got the Eight of Swords there, which is that need to break out of something. So if you get the I miss you, I'm sorry text, if you get the email, we'd like to discuss, you know, there's going to be something that comes up this week, quite possibly surprisingly, that has you looking at your past, or it's a connection to your past, and you're going to be saying to yourself, you know what, that, you know, I'm trying to be more conscious at the moment and not swear as much as I used to. So, but that stuff, that, all of that, I ain't in that no more because I've come full circle. I am ready to let go of that. I am ready to transcend that. So not only will you catch yourself before you respond or before you have that moment, this is you making a clean break. This is you making a clean cut and saying, you know what, just like a surgeon, I'm going to cut it off and be done with it from the here on. Right, this is actually, I personally feel, even though it might be a bit of a surprising week, I actually feel like it's going to be a very powerful week. This is truly a week of liberation, of freedom, of moving forward. Why do I mention those words? The Tower card represents the planet Uranus. Freedom, liberation, rebellion, revolution, change, right? Your personal evolution is here at hand. The Moon card has already told you that you've moved forward, that you've come full cycle, that you're a different person now. So when these things, all these people come back at you from the past in some way, shape or form, it's up to you to remember, to stay conscious long enough to say, actually, I'm not in that space anymore. So you know what? It's nice to know that you miss me. It's nice to know that you think of me. It's nice to know that you still want to be all up in my business. But you know what? I'm not there anymore. So, I mean, for me, you know, if it were me, I would just ignore. Right, delete, delete. However, the insight card is the Tower. The Tower tends to bring things that are shocking, that can be a bit like, okay, I didn't expect that. Right, so being conscious of how far you've come, being conscious of yourself, who this new self is, what the lessons are that you've transcended, and ultimately the information and the knowledge that you have now assimilated into who you are. That's what you're going to have to rely on this week, right? But I feel like, yeah, it's time for you to free yourself of some form of a situation. Now, behind the scenes, it could be that there's an amazing surprise that's shaping up for you, right? But with the Eight of Swords there, the potential is that while this surprise could be wonderful for you, it might require some form of a sacrifice. It might require something of you where you say, okay, you know what, in order to have that, I'm going to have to let something else go. In order to move forward with this, I'm going to have to remove that or relinquish my hold on it. Right? And sometimes that's the question for you to ask, you know, sometimes it is the question to ask yourself, okay, is it me that's holding on? Is it me that is clinging to this? Is it me that is making this more than it has to be, right? So let me know in the comments if it's not too personal. I myself am preparing for many shifts and changes from here on in. It's going to be awesome, but I have a feeling it is going to be a bit like, whoo, okay, didn't expect that. With that said, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Excuse me, go, be awesome, take care, and I'll see you soon.